We're back to update you on the most important project currently at the district, our next generation Faregate project. In this presentation, we'll share with you the amazing work that has been accomplished by our team members so far. We'll touch up on some of the challenges and illustrate the very aggressive nature of this project. This is a generational project for BART that will transform our system for the good. We are devoting the time and resources necessary to ensure this project results in Faregates that will make BART safer for decades to come. We are pursuing a highly aggressive timeline because we know our riders want these new gates to be in place as quickly as possible, just as bad as we do. Which is why we will have the first prototypes installed at West Oakland Station by the end of this year. As you know, as we all know, there isn't a Faregate depot where you can grab a shopping cart, go down the Faregate aisle, grab the first one that's on sale, go to the checkout, and then go out to installation, all right? These next generation Faregates are being tailor-made to address the issues we see here at the district. Our delivery strategies began the moment the contract was awarded by our board. As you might all know, all projects typically have three primary factors, right? You have your scope, you have your schedule, and you have your budget. For our project, the primary driver is schedule with a thick overlay of quality. We knew from the get-go that we had to approach this project differently, very strategically. We have mobilized a tremendous number of resources and manpower to this project. Given the aggressive nature of our project, we developed a new approach to testing prototypes to meet our tight deadline, where we are simultaneously testing, I will repeat, simultaneously testing at the West Oakland prototype station and at our laboratory. This has never been done before. We immediately created a senior leadership team devoted to this project. We have engaged nearly every department at BART, starting from our government community relations down to our frontline workers. We're continuously engaging critical communities, including our ADA community partners and the neighborhood where our first gates will be installed. Our team has also worked very swiftly and diligently to identify a workspace for our vendor with STraffic, as you probably know, allowing them to work out of BART headquarters to help tighten up collaboration and coordination. So far, district-wide, we have logged over 10,000 staff hours working hard on this project. With that said, I will now hand it over to my colleague, Mike Wong, who is our lead project manager, to take you guys through the remainder of the presentation.
Thanks, Wahid. Good afternoon, Board of Directors. I am Michael Wong, the lead project manager for the Faregate project. I'm pleased to be the one to tell you what the team has done to date. BART's team has been working closely with STraffic's team on developing the conceptual and preliminary designs, including software integration and overall performance. And we have found opportunities to better the final product. Additionally, a large part of our team has performed multiple site visits and field investigations to ensure we have a solid installation plan moving forward. As we mentioned previously, this is the most important project in the district. We worked on improving STraffic's conceptual design within the first month. This was followed up shortly with their submittal of the preliminary design. BART has a goal to have a turnaround time of 5 calendar days for reviews. This is made possible by having dedicated staff on this project. We also had multidisciplinary review teams to ensure all systems are being integrated properly. So far, there have been over 50 submittals, some ranging between 500 to 1,000 pages a submittal. One of the primary stakeholder comments was related to the door criteria. STraffic proposed laminated tempered glass, which caused concern due to the potential effects of vandalism. So the district explored and accepted the use of polycarbonate, as shown in option 1. Polycarbonate is approximately 250 times more resistant to impact versus laminated glass. We also plan to prototype 2 additional variations in the door configuration. Option 2 represents a metal frame with a perforated metal panel. Option 3 represents a metal frame with a polycarbonate infill panel. All options are transparent. In addition, as part of the design evolution of the door, we reduced the 3-inch gaps between the door paddles to 1 inches for standard aisles and 2 inches for accessible aisles. Another aspect of the gate that we are trying to improve on is the slight deflection which could be caused when the door is experiencing a constant pressure. The gate design implemented deterrence features for climb-overs. One is to have slope features at both the base and top of the console. The other is to insert a polycarbonate triangular fin attached at the center of the Faregate console so someone cannot leverage the console for fare evasion. The overhead bridge adds another deterrent for climb-overs and provides visual information for riders. Our team has been working on the required materials, services, and construction procurements to support the development of the new Faregates. Material procurements include step-down transformers, network switches, communication cables, in addition to other electrical materials to support the Faregate installation. As mentioned in previous board meetings, contractor services will be engaged to augment district staff during the installation to meet the accelerated deployment schedule. As Wahid mentioned earlier, we modified the approach to testing. Normally, the gates are delivered to the lab from the fabricator to be tested for at least 60 to 90 days. Once testing is successful, the fabricator will be given the go-ahead to produce the gates for the prototype, followed by additional testing in the field. When it passes, the fabricator will be authorized to do mass production. In our case, we are simultaneously testing the prototype gates at both West Oakland and at BART's labs. The district has never done this simultaneous testing procedure before, but we are working closely with the vendor during the design. The implementation plan has been developed with the rider in mind and to minimize impacts to them. As we know, these stations were built over 50 years ago, while many alterations have taken place. Not all of it has been recorded on the as-built documentation. Therefore, additional detailed investigations are required to identify existing field conditions and potential hazards. Just look at some of the challenges we have in the field. Existing rebar in the station floor, existing cabling and wiring connected to existing Faregates and other equipment, in addition to finding the source of these cables and wires that need to be modified or new routing of new cables. Installation of the new Faregates is not as easy as drop and go. We engaged over 60 people across 12 internal departments to perform more than 15 field investigations and site visits and develop multiple contingencies within our plan.
So I'm sorry to interrupt, Mike, but I wanted to pause right here and have you look at this because we all want to get these gates done fast, quick, but we also want to get them done right. And there is so much going on in our stations, and this is just West Oakland. And if we look at the whole system, system-wide, we need to figure out what's in there. It's not just the gates. So as Wahid said, there isn't a gate depot. I like that analogy. But it's not just the gates. It's there's other pieces that have to go into the gate, and obviously what has to happen in the stations. In some places, we've dug up the floor to look at existing electrical conduit, and the electrical wires are actually fused together from so many years. So again, I just wanted to point this out. We want to go fast. We only have one chance to get it right. So thank you, Mike.
Okay. With the accelerated schedule, we are planning on shutting down the existing Faregates shown above in the green hatching and to do the replacement at one time. Since there is only one array at West Oakland, 2 temporary accessible Faregates shown in the blue, not currently there, will be installed to each side of the existing station agent booth. We recognize that this setup may not be as seamless to the riders during the install, so we will work diligently with our operations and our accessibility partners to provide the proper signage and mitigation measures. From this, we can learn how the station is impacted and apply this knowledge to future deployments. Implementing new computer hardware using both new and existing software configurations has its challenges. Lucky our team has a lot of experience with these types of challenges. The new Faregate has an internal network switch that connects the gates via cameras, sensors, and computers' external systems via the operational network. BART's current equipment for the supervisory control and data acquisition, or SCADA, which is used to open the gates in an emergency, are no longer available for STraffic to purchase. So we need to upgrade the SCADA hardware, write new control software for the gates, and test the equipment in the field. The first gates at Oakland will use a similar setup as the BART developed gates at Rockridge to accept payment. As Clipper 2 is deployed, the gates will be modified to accept the new tri-reader 4s with cubic support to integrate this technology into our gates. We've already exercised the option to implement STraffic's monitor and reporting systems, and we are engaging STraffic to provide an integrative control system which will enhance their products to meet BART's business needs. This is what we plan to accomplish in the next very short months. Review the final design of the Faregate system, complete the site implementation for West Oakland, install 2 temporary accessible gates in West Oakland to be used while the existing gates are being removed and replaced. Procure materials and get contractors on board for deployment support. Here's a snapshot of things to come. We'll start with the prototype installation at West Oakland at the end of this year, then the delivery of the remaining base 8 station Faregates in late spring of next year, and with the final district-wide deployment completed in summer of 2025. We would like to thank the dedicated team members and stakeholders that have supported us to date. Thank you for listening. We would like to open this up for questions.